Hello, today I will be showing you an example of if-else statements and walking you through how it works. Before I get into the code though, I first just want to explain to you the basic concept of what an if-else statement actually does and when you might or want to use or need to use one. An if-else statement is exactly as it sounds. If the condition is met, then execute the code below it. The else part is just saying that if the if statement's conditions are not met, then execute the code below this instead. There are also an else if statements that you can put in between if and the else if there are other conditions you want to test for. Summed up, if else is basically conditional execution. Alright, so let me show you in a real example how this works. Starting from the top of this method called guess the number, we set the variable user input as our scanner object. The scanner object is going to be the user's input, so in this case it is referring to what the user types and enters on the keyboard. Next, I declare an integer variable called correct answer and set it to 2. And then I set the integer variable guess to 0. The next statement, system.out.println, will prompt the user this question: guess the number between 0 and 10. And alright, let's go into this while loop. And this loop executes if the Boolean expression meets the conditions. So if the user's guess is not equal to the variable correct answer, which remember is 2, then execute the code below. Note that in code the Boolean expression must be inside open and close parentheses. The next line of code says that the variable guess will be set to the user's next integer input. Now, we finally get to the if-else portion, so let's walk you through what this code means. If the guess is equal to 0, or if the guess is equal to 10, then execute the block of code, which is going to be printing out this line. Next we have an else if, so if that first if statement does not meet the conditions, we can add in this else if statement so that we can see if it meets other conditions. So if the first conditions aren't met, then let's see if the guess is lower than 0 or higher than 10. And then if it meets these conditions, then print out this line. You can have as many else if statements you want or need to make sure you eventually satisfy a condition. So scrolling down here, we get to the last else if statement, where if the user's input is equal to 2, then print this sentence and get out of the loop. Now let's go ahead and run this and confirm that this is how it all works. Let's compile it, reset it. Alright, so first thing printed was right here, as I said, guess number between 0 and 10. So let's go ahead and try this first if statement. If the guess is 0 or 10, print out this line. So let's guess 0. Alright, so it printed out this line which matches here, and it gives the user another chance to guess. Let's try this one. If it's between 0, if it's below 0 or above 10, let's see what happens. Alright, it matches up. Let's try if the guess is 1. Alright, and finally let's make sure we get the correct answer here. 2. Good job, you got it. Alright, hopefully this was very helpful to you guys, and have a nice day.